This is me. I remember the day like it was yesterday, held hostage inside of a bathtub. So you may be wondering why the Zambian government has held me hostage and why am I in a bathtub?
Well, that makes the both of us, friends. It's a long-ass story and you should probably watch the first part of this 3-part series if you want to know why the hell I'm fucking here. Or, just don't. You're only gonna miss the selling creature stage, probably the most important stages in the game, while I'm fucking stuck here for a reason you don't even know about, so...
0 years after the Purge, the Stone Axe Age. Red eyes, new hands and feet, and generally a bunch of other features. It's no joke that the Alphachin has evolved tremendously, even a third eye on its body, giving the creature infrared vision. But now, we're about to witness an amazing historical discovery from the Alphachin. The discovery of fire! Of course, with the invention of fire comes the invention of clothes, and the Alphachin have a superb outfit. The mask covers all but their third eye. The Alphachin slaughter a Jeffet for food, when all of a sudden another species reaches sentience, the Pink Village. Continuing on, they slaughter an entire pack of Jeffets for food, and then they use that food to pay builders to build an axe shed. The Alphachin all equip their axes, and it is then when they launch their attack on the Pink Village to assert dominance on anything that even tries to reach their level of sentience. They make quick work of the enemy chieftain and dismantle the village. The Alphachin can once again be satisfied knowing that there's not any creature on the planet that is on the same level as itself. 310,000 years after the Purge, the Two-Sided War. The Alphachins would soon upgrade their technology when suddenly some new tribes have appeared overnight. The only logical explanation is that they're trying to undermine the Alphachin's dominance! It is during this time when the tribe is raising 3 young Alphachin. They decide to go fishing until they realize they have no idea how to do that. Meanwhile, the Cyan village is fighting off an epic. The Alphachin deduce that this is the ideal time to attack, which suddenly leaves them in a dilemma because the Green Village is using the Alphachin's absence as a sign to attack. How will the Alphachins deal with this two-sided conflict? If your answer was by killing everyone involved, then you would be correct! The Alphachins finish off the Cyan villages before rushing back to defend their base from the Green attackers! After the massacre, the Alphachin decide to eat a meal to replenish their hunger before going off to get revenge on those who wronged them. The Alphachin splits their army into 2 divisions, sending one to Green Village and the other to Cyan Village. They slaughter the survivors of the attacks before attacking the buildings to secure the tribes getting destroyed. Green Village is the first village to fall, and Cyan Village is destroyed right after. The two-sided war is coming to an end. 770,000 years after the Purge, tribal domination. The tribe gets back from their two-sided war and immediately begins scavenging for food. I mean, war does make you pretty hungry. They kill a nest of Jacadi G for food before returning back to their village with the spoils. They invent new technologies such as flaming torches and throwing spears. The Alphachin prepare for battle and then attack Lavender Village, for they do not understand that if they can't accept the Alphachins as the dominant species, then they will be lost to history. This event in history is commonly referred to as the Lavender Village Massacre, because the Lavender Village had 0 chance to defend themselves from the Alphachin's army. A travesty was about to be found out, that while the Alphachin were arrayed dismantling the Lavender village, the Orange tribe had launched an attack. They destroyed the Throwing Spears tool hut before moving on to the Flaming Spears tool hut, destroying that as well. And by this point, the Alphachins arrive back at home to deal directly with the threats. They bring mercy to those who brutalized their village, and after finishing off the last raider, they send their entire military to destroy Orange Village. They make quick work of any of the Orange tribesmen still alive, and begin to destroy the village's huts. The hut begins to smoke, and eventually it catches ablaze. And eventually the job is finished. Orange Village is no more! The Alphachins finish their totem and perform a victory dance, knowing that they have successfully warded off any species from forming a tribe. But the Alphachins have bigger ambitions. They decide to build the Dragon's Keep, a monument to the species' greatness. But soon, bigger ambitions come to fruition. No longer do they just want a tower. They want progress. They want power. They want a bigger village, a city. They want a military. That's why they create a land vehicle, in which they've called the Land Dragon. 0 years after the first city, the Yellow Hegemony, the Alphachins were successful in the creation of the first city. They have become the de facto dominant species of Chinnus. By this point, the species has also come to learn about something called spice, a resource that comes out of a geyser in the ground, and it's worth a lot of money. The Alphachin spend their early days by colonizing spice geysers and trampling down on smaller villages to make sure that their civilization is the dominant one. Yes, by this point the Alphachin have even begun to fight amongst themselves, with eventually several other cities popping up, eventually forming nations. Each nation wants to unite the world, but in different ways. Some nations believe that the Alphachin should not fight at all, and rather they should unite the world by trades. Other nations believe that they were created sacredly by a god, and that they should unite the world under their god. And finally, some nations believe that they should conquer the entire world to prove themselves dominant, just like they have for their entire history. Chintopia was one of those military nations. They believed that all things should be settled the same way they settled everything else. Through blood! The first conflict starts on the Yellow border after Chintopia pillaged a village for loot. The Yellow insisted it was their borders and that they should deserve the loot. Yellow, with the help of Red, decide to attack Chintopia for this little border dispute. Red Nation was easy to bribe off, but the War of Yellow was as real as it gets. The first thing Chintopia does is forcibly take Yellow spice geysers in an attempt to run their factories dry, and also to get the resources for themselves. Chintopia wasn't the only one at war with Yellow though, as Purple was also at war with Yellow, as Purple's capital was being sieged by Yellow. Yellow was an expansive and threatening nation, so Chintopia took great pride in taking over their spice geysers. But it was then, when Purple Nation was no more, Yellow had to be conquered, and the general of Chintopia knew that if they didn't do anything, they would be next. So they doubled their military in a single night, and they decided to attack the city Yellow had just taken by control. Since there was zero infrastructure due to it recently being destroyed, this was seen as a very strategical move, to take the enemy down before they can even build defenses. There was heavy fire. Yellow was able to set up defensive turrets right before Chintopia arrived. However, using force field technology, the Alphachins were temporarily immune to the defenses. The Chintopians soon learned that they were outnumbered, but they had one advantage. They had lots of money, and they were so close to the city. This would allow them to consistently send backup, and eventually naval reinforcements. Yellow, though, were not going to let their newly acquired city to get taken away from them. so they did everything in their power to ward off the Chintopians for as long as possible, even firing fireworks into the sky to declare early victory in hope it would persuade Chintopian to call off their attack. This did not work, however, as eventually the Chintopians destroyed all of Yellow's defenses, and the city was now under direct fire from the Chintopians. This battle saw many Alphachin killed. In a last hope, the Yellow was able to get some final defenses in, but by this point, it was too late. The Chintopians had successfully taken the city from under Yellow's control. By this point, Red Nation contacted Chintopia with the hopes of declaring war on Blue Nation. Chintopia refused as they were on good standing with Blue. Yellow had not stopped its imperial conquest, however. As they are on their way to conquering Pink Nation, Chintopia saw this as the perfect opportunity to prepare their forces and take the city once Yellow had destroyed it. Once Yellow took the city, Chintopia launched a mighty bomb, destroying a big portion of the military that was stationed there. They were then ready to move in and take the city from right under Yellow's nose. The city was ill-defended, which allowed the Chintopians to take it almost instantly with little resistance. Chintopia now owned a majority of their continent, so they took this opportunity to take some more Spice Geysers from right under Yellow's control. That's when it happened. Order 65, the attack on Yellow's capital. This was not going to be an easy task. Chintopia had hard times attacking an empty city, let alone a populated capital. Yellow was going to be defending everything here. The battle begins. Chintopia drops a mighty bomb to try to weaken their defenses, as well as set up damage suppression fields to stop their vehicles from being destroyed. Even with the bomb, the turrets were fully operational and deadly. It took time, but eventually Chintopia pushed through and began directly firing on the city. The ground was terrifying if you were a civilian. Death, war, destruction everywhere. And it was at this moment, the most secure city in the world fell to Chintopia. They now control all resources and civilization on the continent. And what happened next made them even more stronger. The invention of aircraft! This would change war as we knew it. 27,100 years after the first city, world domination. Chintopia invents the world's first aircraft, appropriately named Flying Fury, and it's a force to be reckoned with. Meanwhile, the continent's resources are being collected by the new Continental Empire, making sure to build up all of their cities for maximum economy efficiency. That's when it happened. An attack on Chintopia. Red made themselves very clear that they did not like Chintopia very well. It was a mutual feeling as well, and you know the old saying, if you don't like 'em, strike 'em! So that's when Chintopia launched an invasion on the Red City of Adint. Once again, a mighty bomb is dropped on the city to lower the city's defenses and infrastructure. It's a well-guarded city, so this might just be our toughest battle yet. Meanwhile, Blue was also invading a red city, but through religion. It looked like the war wasn't going anywhere. The city's defenses were too tough. The solution? Drop a bomb on the already weakened city buildings! The entire city just got vaporized! Send a few more units to finish off the defenses and, well, you've got a successful invasion! Now Chintopia had a city on another continent. This would mark a significant date, and by this point, Blue Nation had just declared war on Chintopia, fearing further expansion. Chintopians, however, were living their best life. As we can see here, a prize fight is taking place in one of its many cities. Chintopia was not done expanding yet, with the attack of the Red City of Chattel. And, as tradition, dropping a mighty bomb on a city before the invasion is a great way of weakening cities' defenses. The invasion was swift and successful. This only gave the Chintopians more power. They decided now to take out Red completely with their final city that Blue was already even invading. It was a double invasion. The Red stood no chance. Now there only stood two nations, Chintopia and Blue. They were both so close to the world domination that they've been striving for since they were only little cells in the sea. Chintopia had a plan that they knew would end the war quickly. They developed nuclear weapons a while back, but they never got to use them. They've been saving them for this moment, the Blue Capital. In just an instant, the capital was destroyed, and it was no longer a fair fight. Blue was no longer fighting for pride, no, they were fighting for survival. After their capital was destroyed, all of their other cities fell down like butter. Each and every one of them destroyed, until there was only one remaining. Blue had no choice but to surrender, something that an Alphachin has never done before. The dream. It was complete. World domination. The Alphachin has asserted dominance over the whole world! But it's not over. With the discovery of space travel, there's a final frontier to confront. Space. And the Alphachins will take immense pride in asserting dominance to the star system, to the galaxy, to the universe!